Welcome to DigiMasters Shorts. We are your hosts, Adam Nagus
and Carly Wilson, delivering the latest scoop from the digital realm. DeepSeek has released DeepSeek Harness v0.1 as a developer preview, publishing the full source code under the MIT license. The project presents an agent as model plus harness, with the harness managing tools, files, sandboxes, sessions, and control loops. Unlike fixed agent frameworks, Harness places models, tools, skills, storage, scheduling, user interfaces, and workflows behind configurable Cordis plugin boundaries. Developers can therefore swap or extend core capabilities without modifying Harness source code. Its modes include standard for full coding tasks, code for multi-step TypeScript tool execution, minimal for benchmarking, and creator for runtime inspection and plugin development. Harness records every model interaction in an append-only session log, including context injections, tool activity, reasoning, and subagent scheduling. The event stream supports session resumption, forking, search, replay, and trajectory inspection. The system supports DeepSeek and other providers, including custom OpenAI-compatible endpoints, with credentials stored securely through references rather than exposed keys. A web interface and Python SDK are included, with the SDK supporting modern Linux systems and Apple Silicon Macs. The release is positioned as developer infrastructure for assembling agent runtimes, rather than a finished production coding assistant.
OpenAI has disbanded its preparedness team, which assessed serious model risks and developed mitigation strategies. According to reports, responsibilities for threats involving areas such as biology and cybersecurity have been transferred to existing teams. The move comes amid broader restructuring as OpenAI prepares for an expected major IPO. The company has also dissolved its AGI readiness and superalignment teams, while several senior safety and ethics figures have departed. Critics, including former OpenAI researcher Jan Leaker, say the changes suggest the company is prioritizing new products over safety. Preparedness chief Dylan Scandinaro, who joined from Anthropic in February, will now focus on the risks of recursively self-improving AI. Sony CEO Hiroki Totoki says the company still has not set a launch date for the PlayStation 6, despite growing expectations of a 2027 release. Rising memory prices and component shortages linked to artificial intelligence demand are making a new console more expensive to produce. Sony's expanding focus on movies, music, television, and game-based franchises also means it has less pressure to rush the PS6 to market. The company can continue generating revenue from properties such as The Last of Us and God of War, while the current PlayStation generation remains active. Sony is also using artificial intelligence internally, including for tasks such as automating character hair animation in games. A 2027 PS6 launch remains possible, but Sony is expected to wait until market conditions make the timing more favorable. Meanwhile, Samsung has become the official display and audio partner for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, which will support HDR10+ gaming and 32.9 ultra-wide screens. That support could give owners of Samsung's Odyssey G9 monitors a significantly wider battlefield view. Intel is reportedly developing a more affordable Panther Lake processor for handheld gaming devices featuring 8 CPU cores and 4 Xe3 graphics cores.
Tyga has acknowledged using artificial intelligence to create the retro synths on his new album, Tarface, while writing and performing the lyrics himself. He compared the technology to autotune, but critics rejected the analogy, with Pitchfork awarding the album a score of 0 and Doja Cat publicly criticizing its release. Timbaland has also entered the market through Stage Zero, signing Tata, an AI-created act he describes as an autonomous music artist. Other musicians, including Grimes and Nick Carter, have experimented with AI voices, while the virtual performer Tilly Norwood has attracted hundreds of thousands of views. Supporters regard generative music as another production tool, while opponents argue that it can amount to a shortcut or theft. The dispute centres on training data, much of which is drawn from recorded music made by artists who were not asked for permission. Legal challenges are growing after a German court found that Suno had violated copyright, with similar cases continuing in the United States. The industry also lacks consistent rules for labelling AI-made music, leaving listeners uncertain about what they are hearing. As streaming platforms fill with machine-generated tracks, musicians fear an oversupply of cheap songs could reduce the value of human work.
Thank you for listening to today's AI and Tech News Podcast summary. Please do leave us a comment, and for additional feedback, please email us at podcast@digimasters.co.uk. You can now follow us on Instagram and Threads by searching for @DigimasterShorts or search for Digimasters on LinkedIn. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, and don't forget to follow or subscribe.